I just want the
It's time for the Mike
the radio show.
on 102.5 The Bone. Hoppe Hour. Anything you hear may or will be used against you. Thank you.
You met young Ryan Hoppe. Ryan.
Okay, your name? Ryan Hoppe. Okay, Ryan Hoppe, where do you live? Howard tonight. Ah, so you're from the rich north suburbs.
What's going on, Ryan Hoppe? This is Tony Romo. Your buddy, Ryan Hoppe.
No one knows who Ryan Hoppe is.
You never have to worry about offending Ryan Hoppe.
Isn't he like 7 foot tall?
He's 7 foot tall. He's
He's a kid.
He's a kid.
He's got good mentors.
and he's motivated.
Hoppe Hour.
All right, let's get right into it because I have about 10 minutes and 42 seconds. This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Call the show. When I tell you the phone lines are wide open, 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And when you go there and you tweet at me, you can see today's poll of the day. And what a surprise, it has to do with the Kardashians. I mean, is that just a surprising thing? It says, do you think dating the Kardashians/Jenners actually places a curse on the professional athlete or musician's career? 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Because you can go down the list of everybody it's affected. But Devin Booker, I know a lot of people in Tampa probably don't know who the hell he is. He plays for the Phoenix Suns. He's a great player. And they went 8-0. The Phoenix Suns did in the NBA bubble 2 years ago, but missed the playoffs. But he was up and coming. He scored 70 points in a game. And then he dates Kendall. And then they blow a 2-0 lead in the finals last year. And they lose in 6 games and lose the next 4. And then in their last game against the Mavericks this year, they lost by 40 points. And Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner just broke up. And one has to wonder if Devin Booker is going to have a resurgence, you know? If he's just going to go and just have the time of his life. Because there were pictures of him and Kendall at Kourtney Kardashian's wedding to midlife crisis Travis Barker in Italy. And Devin looked miserable. And that was the same night of the Dallas Mavericks Warriors game. And you know he was getting a lot of heat on social media. Oh, you care more about this wedding than the game. So, without further ado, let's find out what happened to Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner and Devin Booker have broken up, but is it really over? Well, a source tells ET it may not be.
It's not always easy.
Kendall and Devin are going their separate ways after 2 years together. Our source says Kendall feels like they're on different paths, and they have had discussions about their future, but they are not on the same page.
Yeah, you know, she wants him to be more involved with the TV show, and he's trying to win a championship and not be a part of the Kardashian curse. Because a lot of people go, oh, why isn't he on the show? And that because he's an introvert that plays basketball who looks up to Kobe, because Kobe trained him. Kobe trained him, Ben Simmons, and another player that plays for the Celtics. Before he died, he was training some players. And when you watch Devin Booker play basketball, it's a copycat Kobe. He's just not Kobe. So you know he's trying to win rings. And she's trying to get a ring in a different way.
However, there is a possibility they could get back together in the future.
What's happening with you and Devin Booker?
He's my boyfriend.
That's Kenny during the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion special last year.
I loved how they had a reunion special because the show went off air for about 6 months and it went from ETV to Hulu. Like, man, our attention span is really gone. Like, you have the 10-year reunions of high school, which mine's not even having it. And you have job reunions. Oh, I haven't seen my family in 6 months. I mean, come on now.
Finally admitting she was dating Devin. The two kept their relationship relatively private since first being romantically linked in June 2020.
Kylie and I specifically have, had the opportunity to watch my older sisters, go through marriages and relationships and breakups and all these things and do them pretty...
to be there for you.
Do them pretty publicly. And, again, no offense to you guys at all, but I think just it was personal preference.
Oh, man, do you hear Scott Disick? He sounds a little offended. None taken. Shut up, bro.
I think just it was personal preference from, a really young age.
She's essentially saying you guys are awful in relationships and I don't want to be anything like you. Kind of like how I view boomers that are politicians.
And since then, Kendall and Devin were more open about each other on social media, sharing cute pics like these. The model was also no stranger to sitting courtside and supporting her man at his basketball games. Remember this rare moment of PDA at his game in Los Angeles?
I watch every game unless last night I had a dinner, but all my friends and family know that I sit with my phone wherever I am.
And back in January of this year, things started getting serious between them. A source told ET at the time the couple were in a really great space. And
why? Because they said they were in a great space and they were taking selfies? You never know what's going on in a relationship. I love when people are surprised. We're not a fly in the house. We're not there.
That they've really fallen hard for one another. And then in March, Devin opened up to WSJ Magazine about being with Kendall and talked about whether it was hard to have the spotlight on his personal and professional life. I wouldn't say hard. Honestly, I'm enjoying life to the fullest, and that came off my tongue so easily because it wasn't always this way, but I feel like I'm in a good place right now.
All right, I don't care anymore. 727-579-1025. I have a rule. If I'm bored, you're bored. So there's a lot of controversial things that happened this week. There's a lot of hate being spewed, but I will never hide my hatred for Jussie Smollett, that hack of an actor. He went on Sway in the Morning, with shame on Sway for giving this liar and this dividing douchebag a platform.
I was there in 6.5 days. Lord knows I wanted to get out.
This is Jussie Smollett talking about being in a psych ward. Yeah.
I was there in 6.5 days. Lord knows I wanted to get out. I'm in a psych ward.
Jussie Smollett is going into detail about his experience in a psychiatric ward following the actor's court sentencing.
You know, he did that because he was trying to get out of going to prison, which he went for about 48 minutes and then got let out because Cook County, if you're not from Illinois, which most of you are not, is called Crook County because of Kim Foxx and the mayor Lori Lightfoot. It's just always been so corrupt. But then again, that's every politician. So he got let out right away.
I am innocent. I did not do this.
In December, Jussie was found guilty on 5 counts of disorderly conduct for his role in lying to law enforcement about a staged attack against himself.
My favorite part about that, the fake attack, was it was negative 10 degrees in Chicago. And it was on Lower Wacker Drive, which is a really rich neighborhood. It's like a little lower drive. It's like the opposite of a bridge, like you're going underneath. And it's where all the millionaires live. And there's really no Republicans in Chicago. There's a few, but it's people visiting from outside the suburbs to go to their job. There's no Republicans. Completely Democratic. And Jussie Smollett was like, there are these Trump supporters in a van who said MAGA country. And it was like, bro, that's not even near Chicago, man. What are you talking about, you lying hack? And then all the money that the cops put into that, when there's all these issues with Chicago, man, and he gets away with it. The politicians literally let him out of prison, and they don't care that all the money went to waste. Ugh. Remember growing up, maybe it was just me, but I thought politicians were people you look up to, man. And now I'm like, good riddance. This has been about 8 minutes of Hoppe Hour. I got to go to Pride. It's going to be a fun time. I can't wait. It's just always a good time, man. Life's too short, dude. If you identify as something, go ahead. As long as you're not hurting kids or animals, I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to have a good time. I am such a narcissist that I'm not really going to judge somebody if they want to do whatever. So I want to be out there. If you see me, know that I am having a good time. And if you want to listen to Hoppe Hour, all you have to do is go to every single major platform that has a podcast and search up Hoppe Radio. But before we go, I got to play this jam for Pride. One of the greatest songs ever. Oh, yeah. Anybody out there at Pride? We got 90 seconds of the show left. Call in. I don't think people at Pride would be listening to Hoppe Hour, because they'd be focused on the Pride Parade. Add me on Snapchat. I'm trying to grow it more. I had it on private, and then I was getting no views, and then I was like, whatever. So Ryan Hoppe Radio. But first, oh yeah. And honestly, if you have any homophobic tendencies in your heart, look yourself in the mirror and wonder what's wrong with you. Because everybody else is out there living life, and you disgruntled boomers or Gen Xers that take offense to it, get over it. Because us millennials and Gen Z, we are open-minded, and if you get to know us, we're actually pretty cool.
You're listening to the Mike
Radio Show
on 102.5 The Bone.